Git has to be one of the most important developer tools you'll ever use. I'd actually go as far as saying that the latest time to learn Git is once you no longer consider yourself an absolute beginner developer. Git can do an awful lot of stuff, much of which you'll never need. So this course takes a look at the most common things that people use when developing and using Git. Rather than using code, we're going to use some poems which make things easier to follow. Git actually operates on text files, so it can deal with poetry pretty nicely. On screen here, we've got something which will help us visualize what Git does. Each of the circles represents a snapshot that the developer took over the time of the development. The oldest snapshot's at the bottom, and the most recent one is at the top. So let's see how this project's evolved. Let's go back to the beginning of time for this project, and you can see this is our first so-called commit. So we've taken our snapshot here, and what we've got is one file that's added, but this represents the clean state, so there's really nothing here except there's one file called .codio. We won't bother about that. Now here we've started work and we've done our first proper, you could call this a release if you like. It's verse 1. There's a file called mary.txt, and we've added 4 lines to it. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, and so on. And we've then gone on and added verse 2. And if we have a look, it's telling us we've added 6 lines in here, and there they are in green. The ones in red are the things that have been changed or removed. Then we've added verse 3. It's pretty obvious here what's happening. Now something really interesting has happened. What we've decided is that we've got a bug, and a bug that needs fixing. So rather than just carrying on up this tree, what we're doing is we're creating a so-called branch. And the reason for this is this master branch, which is, if you like, the main line, should be sort of kept as pure as possible. We don't want to be developing features or fixing bugs in the master branch. So this is one of the most powerful features Git offers. We've created a branch called fix v3, and that is now, you can consider as kind of a separate development area based on the verse 3 state of our project. And you can see if we look in here that we've added something. We've done, here we are, there's one line that's been corrected. We had a typo, it followed her to school, and we've put in the E there. So that's our bug fixed. What we haven't yet done is merge it back in here, that we'll talk about later. At the same time, we've decided that we want to add a new feature. So in this case, while we're on our poetry theme, we're going to create a feature called sonnets. And you can see that I've actually added here, again, based on the state of the project at that point, I've added a commit that's called shall I compare these to a summer's day, and there's a file called sonnets.txt, and there it is. Then we've added another sonnet here and one more sonnet here. Now once those have been done, I can just merge those whenever I'm ready back into the main project, which is that master branch. One of the other really cool things that Git lets you do is let other developers work on stuff as well. Now the way that happens is that we have a remote Git repository, so it's basically the same project that we're working on here, but put on a platform like GitHub or Atlassian's Bitbucket, and that allows other people to collaborate. So what we can see has happened here is Origin, that's the name of our remote Git repository, and the Sonnets branch here has been modified. And if you look at it, you can even see that it's been modified by somebody else. So you can see it's been modified by Maxim Kraev. And he's added another sonnet at the bottom here. So what we're seeing on screen now is what happens after we've decided to merge in fix v3, that's the fixing of our typo, and we've merged in the stuff from sonnets. So you can see here that's the thing that merges in fix, that's the thing that merges in sonnets, and now those two things have been incorporated back into our main master branch. So this is our, if you like, our production code, or in this case our production set of poetry. But Git also does a whole lot of other stuff. So for instance, if I wanted to review one of these earlier commits, I can do that. I can go check out the whole commit and look at it. Maybe I just want to extract a single file that was in a better state than maybe I've got it later, so I can just check out that file. If I want to undo something that I did in an earlier release, so for instance maybe I want to undo the changes here, remove verse 2, I can do that as well. In fact, there's so much stuff that you can do with Git, but this course just teaches you a little bit more than the basics and gets you really comfortable with it. And actually Git's great fun to use once you've figured it all out.